A North Texas-based formal wear chain that was open for more than half a century suddenly closes down all of its stores.
And students in Edna hold a back-to-school bash.
More triple-digit temperatures around the area. Look at that, 102, your high in Victoria, not a record, but pretty close, and 106 in Gonzales. We'll talk about triple digits coming up in a moment.
And local volleyball athletes are back on the hardwood. We have highlights and also football highlights too. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
This morning, Victoria Police got an indecent exposure call in the 1600 block of Sam Houston Drive. The man has long hair and was wearing a long-sleeved blue shirt and blue jeans. He was last seen walking southbound on Sam Houston Drive from that area. You can call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200, where callers can remain anonymous.
Victoria ISD will have armed guards on every one of its campuses starting with the first day of school Wednesday. That's tomorrow. House Bill 3, signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott, mandates an armed guard on every public school campus in Texas. Victoria ISD says it continues to work closely with local law enforcement agencies. And with the continued dry weather, water usage restrictions are now in place. Ken Gill, City Victoria Public Works Director, says that the city is under a Stage 3 water restriction, meaning citizens must cut back on water usage. Unlike past water restrictions the city has had, this time the circumstances are more serious.
With back to school season right around the corner, well, Victoria ISD is tomorrow.
Yeah,
Edna
right
hosted a back to school bash.
Yeah, and they want to make sure every student is prepared for the new school year.
It's already back to school time. 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel traveled to Edna for the excitement and has this story.
Summer is coming to an end, which means it's time to dust off those books and zip up those backpacks. But at Edna Elementary, summer ending doesn't mean the fun has to stop. A week before the first day of school, Edna Elementary welcomed their new and returning Cowboys to ease any anxiety students might have about starting a new school year. Michelle Trujillo is going into second grade and was a bit nervous about a new school year. How do you feel about going into second grade?
Kind of nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm just scared that people are gonna look at me. Then,
No, hopefully you'll make friends and everyone's nice, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the goal of the Edna ISD Back to School rally, to give students a chance to reconnect with new friends and old and meet the teachers, all in a fun environment to ensure every student is equipped with the tools they need to succeed.
Well, the purpose of the day is to make sure that our students have everything they need when they come. And so, you know, sometimes are difficult sometimes. We have great resources that volunteer.
Anthony Zavala is going into the fourth grade and is excited to return.
No, I'm excited.
And why are you excited to go into fourth grade?
It's because I thought I would never pass my STAR test, but I did, so I was so excited and nervous.
Well, good job, man.
Well, the thing that I want to be when I'm adult is state trooper right there.
He's also a big fan of the news. Thanks for watching, Anthony.
I like 25 News Now because I want to know all the news that we need to know. Because like the one that talks about the weather that's happening.
Yeah.
I love to learn that because like it's the hottest heat dome ever in this July.
Yeah.
And so it's too hot. It's past 110.
Students could take advantage of free vision screenings, check their immunization records. The Edna Dentistry was there, the YMCA, Healthy Texas Youth Ambassadors, and local first responders, each student leaving with a free backpack full of school supplies. They even had therapy dogs. First grader Willow's favorite part of the day.
Dogs.
The dogs, they're nice. Willow's mom, Destiny, echoing her daughter's excitement for the new school year.
She was very excited to come here ready. She's ready for school, to see her friends and the teachers and stuff and all the activities out here.
They do have a school resource officer as well as an employee guardianship program, an added level of safety and security for the students at Edna.
Our first priority is our safety of our students. And so that's what we do. You know, when they walk in that door, they become our responsibility, and we take that very seriously.
And with many schools dealing with a shortage of teachers, you won't find that in Edna because they have a high retention rate. Principal Parsons says they're ready for another great year for all the Cowboys.
I'm excited, very excited. I'm glad to see the students. All of our admin team have been really working hard, and it's all about the students, and our staff, and you know, just making everything where it's a fun place to be and learning happens.
So here's to an awesome school year. Good luck, Cowboys.
A North Texas-based formal wear chain that was open for more than half a century suddenly closed down all of its stores. And employees said they received an email from the parent company of Al's Formal Wear confirming they were out of a job and stores would not reopen. They were told about store closings in an emergency meeting over the weekend. The parent company has not responded for comment. Men's Warehouse has come forward to help any customers impacted by the sudden closing this week of Al's Formal Wear.
The National Weather Service issues excessive heat warnings for 2 area counties, DeWitt and Lavaca counties, under excessive heat warnings from noon until 9 Wednesday night. The National Weather Service says temperatures up to 107 degrees are expected.
Continue the trend.
Continuing with the trend, yeah.
Yes, let's take the first look at your forecast with First Warning Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac, you have many fans in the Crossroads. There's that young man in Edna. I'm telling you.
I want that young man in Edna to contact me. I want to take him to lunch, you know. I mean, he made me feel like it's all worth it. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Obviously, the heat continues over the area. We've got heat advisories up. We've got red flag warnings. It's still going to be in the triple digits, at least for another 4 weeks. We'll be talking more about that in just a moment. Back to you.
All right, Mac, thank you. The National Weather Service has issued a fire danger statement for DeWitt and Lavaca counties. They say critical fire weather conditions happening either now or will shortly. Be extremely careful, they say, with open flames. Congressman Joaquin Castro, members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and Texas Democrat delegation, visited Eagle Pass today. That's right. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick has more on this visit.
That's right. Congressman Castro noted that despite a drop in border crossings, Governor Greg Abbott's barbaric campaign of cruelty against migrants has remained. KSAT reports Castro said he believed Abbott's persistence on the topic was merely a stunt to distract Texans from other issues affecting them. Abbott had buoys deployed on the river over the summer in an effort to prevent border crossings. The Justice Department has since sued the state, and the lawsuit asked a federal judge to force Texas to remove the 1,000-foot barrier. The lawsuit states Texas installed the buoys without authorization from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
If Governor Abbott won't listen to his constituents and bring this cruelty to an end, the federal government needs to step in with the full force of its authority. The Biden administration promised to bring humanity back to America's asylum system. But what we've seen here in Eagle Pass today is the definition of inhumanity.
Governor Abbott has defended the use of the barrier, saying the U.S. Constitution gives Texas sovereign authority to protect its borders. Dawn, Karina, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Here is your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, has efforts by Operation Lone Star helped with immigration and the border crisis? Yes or no? According to these results tonight, 51% stand at yes and 49% stand at no.
That's 6 percentage points difference from 6 o'clock. It's gotten closer.
Well, thank you for voting tonight. Visit us tomorrow for our latest viewer poll.
New York City is working to find a solution for the growing number of asylum seekers in their area.
Yeah, they're turning to building a tent on Randall's Island for a second time.
Chopper 2 is over 4 southernmost soccer fields at Randall's Island, where a transformation is underway. Fields 82 through 85 get repurposed as a humanitarian relief center for asylum seekers.
We've used up every other option that we have.
With the soccer equipment now moved out, moving in will be tents and about 2,000 people. These long lines were from last week, with migrants sleeping for days on sidewalks to avoid losing places in line at the city's intake and processing center at the Roosevelt Hotel. About 100,000 asylum seekers have come through the city's intake system since last spring.
You know, we don't have another solution. We can only wait here.
Less than a year ago, the city tried unsuccessfully to use Randall's Island for the same purpose. A costly mega shelter was created in a parking lot, then it was abandoned after a few weeks. Some residents wonder why the city is coming back here.
It may not be safe because how are they going to be able to get into the city or get into, they would have to walk across a bridge. It's not really conducive for them to be back and forth.
City leaders admit it's not ideal. Helping is a deal struck with the state to reimburse the city for some of the costs of building, maintaining, and staffing the new facility. Federal funds are desperately needed.
This will get much worse if the federal government does not intervene today.
The loss of the soccer fields will be felt by students from public and private grade schools.
On the weekends, it will be pretty competitive to get a field, just to play, so that'll be interesting. But, I mean, I support it, though. It's fine.
City officials say the new facility will be up and running in a couple of weeks.
About 500 more migrants were expected to arrive in New York from Texas on Monday night.
Back in Victoria, Forest Street between Bridge Street and Main Street will be turned into a pedestrian and performance area. It's part of the City of Victoria's De Leon Plaza expansion project. Nearly 30 parking spots in the area have been blocked off by the construction, but the plan is to increase the number of parking spaces available to the public. The project will also improve sidewalks, drainage, and the area in front of the Six Flags Monument. The De Leon Plaza expansion project completion is expected next March.
The Texas Tribune has a story on family members of 9 people who died in Harris County jails. The federal lawsuit accuses the sheriff's office of violating the constitutional rights of inmates. They claim the sheriff's office violated constitutional rights by creating a place of torment and punishment.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then when you're on YouTube, you can get Crossroads Today. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. A vigil held in Chicago Monday night over the shooting death of a 9-year-old girl.
Also ahead, superintendents in the Florida Keys struggling to fill in teacher positions.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Crime Stoppers is seeking information regarding a murder. On August 4th, 2010, at about 3:30 a.m., David Benitez, a 49-year-old male, was fatally stabbed. He was found at the end of the driveway at the 1200 block of East Loma Vista, bleeding heavily from multiple wounds. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died. If you have any information about this murder, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
In Chicago are in shock and angered over the shooting death of a 9-year-old child. Authorities say the fatal shooting took place over the weekend. 9-year-old Siberia Median was shot in the head. Neighbors are angry because the suspect said he shot the child because she was making too much noise. After the shooting, police say the child's father tackled the suspect, 43-year-old Michael Goodman. Goodman was shot in the face during a struggle. He is being arraigned on charges today.
How dare you think that you can just take anyone's life and a child? What did that child do to you?
The community held a vigil for the girl Monday night, releasing purple balloons into the sky in honor of her memory. She was known as a friendly child who loved riding her scooter, making bracelets, and having friends.
Lawmakers are demanding answers after records show a probe uncovered a string of rapes and assaults at the Coast Guard Academy's agency from the late 1980s to 2006. They indicate investigators had wanted to report their findings to Congress and Homeland Security officials, but then Coast Guard leader Commandant Carl Schultz and his second in command kept the investigation quiet instead. Your brain and body are connected, which is why your mental health is as important as your body is to your overall health.
Anxiety, stress, and depression can have a negative impact on your physical body, not just your mind. And the reverse is true. Taking care of your mental health can help your physical health, including your heart. The American Heart Association has some tips to help with improving the mind-heart-body connection. The first is practicing meditation regularly. This could be spending time in nature or sitting quietly and focusing on your breathing. These all can have a positive impact on your heart health. The association also recommends getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, which helps your brain and body. Spend quality time with pets and reach out to connect with and spend time with family or friends. Isolation is not good for your health, mental or physical. Lastly, exercise. Adults should aim for 2.5 hours of moderate activity a week. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
Recruiting and retaining teachers is a constant struggle across the nation, but specifically in Florida, where the cost of living is very high. The superintendent is trying to fill vacancies, fighting an uphill battle against the cost of living. To fill in the gaps, districts are turning to virtual instruction, but children will remain in school, not at home. Despite the difficulties, teachers say they are all helping each other.
Well, good evening, everyone. Believe it or not, we got up to 102 today, 106 in Gonzales, triple digits once again, and we're going to be staying there for a while. In fact, coming up, we're going to be talking about how many triple digits we've had this year and how many have you been through. We'll be talking more about that coming up. Well, good evening, everybody. Obviously, the heat and the sunshine has been the big discussion that we've had because it's been so hot. So we decided to do a little polling question here to see if you guys could engage with us. And the question is, what is the hottest temperature you have ever experienced? Now, if you lived here in Victoria the last 20, 30 years, I know what the temperature is. Let's see what we got here. Well, 42% say between 106 and 110. Okay, I got that. And 24% say 111 to 113. And 18% has been up to 120, and 3% have been over 120. Okay, I've been to 122 in Laughlin, Arizona, and so I understand it. But you know that it's very interesting because the record high temperature in 2009 was 111 here in Victoria. So you've actually lived through that. But, you know, go to our website and you pitch in and see what you've got. Go to crossroadstoday.com and then go to the weather tab, and then it says vote for weather. All right. Well, now we're taking numbers here. We're looking at the numbers of the most 100-degree days in a year. Okay. So back in 2011, we had 58 days that were over 100. In a long time ago, in 1912, we had 42 days, 39 in 11, 2009, 35 days. So this year, since we have already had 24 days, we are now in 8th place. So we're already in the top 10, and I'm pretty sure we're going to end up somewhere up here because we've got 2 weeks of August and 2 weeks of September when we can get those 100-degree temperatures. So, you know, again, like I've been saying, this is for the record books. 99 down in Port Lavaca. Can you believe that? 109 in Laredo. 109 pretty much everywhere. I mean, it has been brutal. And can you imagine the amount of electricity we're going to need to keep everybody cool tomorrow? So once again, you know, I don't want to inconvenience you, but if you can conserve by not wasting electricity, it would be good. Keep the blinds and the curtains closed. Don't allow the sun to come in, and you know, keep the temperature down, whatever is reasonable. But just don't leave it on all day while you're going to work. Hardly a cloud in the sky today. All the activity was on the East Coast. We had another huge line of storms. This one right here started out here in Arkansas, then rolled right over Georgia this afternoon with more severe weather, and it was from New York City all the way down to Georgia yesterday. They had 600 reports of storm damage that blew through. Well, the Dome of Doom continues over our area and all of the southern part of the country. But as we get closer to next week, you're going to see an easterly wave sort of develop out here in the Gulf, and it's going to do its best, I'm sure it's going to do its best, to slide under the ridge. So that would mean northern Mexico, deep south Texas, but maybe enough moisture moving into the coast for a possibility that we may get something around here that looks like precipitation, so garden variety showers. 95 your high tomorrow in Port Lavaca. And then in the Cuero area, yep, you're looking at 100 degrees as well. We'll be in the triple digits or right at there for the entire 7-day forecast. Heat index running at about 110. So whatever you've done to survive the heat, got to keep going because it's going to be with us for a few more weeks. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Gino with sports.
Thanks, Mac. It was the first game of the season for every volleyball team. That's coming up after the break. At a Crossroads, it was the start of the 2023 volleyball season, and the Victoria East Titans hosted the Floresville Tigers. The Titans came to play, but could not get its first victory of the season. Every set was fairly close, with the scores being 25-17, 25-18, and 25-16, but the Tigers won each set. East will play in the Tex Fest tournament in Wimberley on Friday. Down at the Roost, the Cuero Lady Gobblers hosted the Hallettsville Lady Brahmas. The Lady Brahmas could not overcome Cuero, as the Lady Gobblers would sweep the court this evening, taking all 3 sets. The St. Joseph, Calhoun, and Industrial teams all had a round-robin tournament tonight in Industrial, and the Lady Flyers came out on top against the Lady Sand Crabs in 4 sets, each set being competitive. The St. Joseph also went on a tear tonight, winning both of its matches, including a sweep against the Lady Cobras, winning 25-17, 25-18, and 25-8. Addison Ozuna led the team with 12 kills, 4 digs, 3 blocks, and 1 ace. The Industrial Lady Cobras, the Lady Cobras took on the Calhoun Lady Sand Crabs, with Calhoun coming out on top in a 3-set sweep. Calhoun's stat leader in the match was Nevaeh Rangel, who had 13 kills and 3 digs. The West Lady Warriors also played in a round-robin tournament against Navarro and Piper. The Lady Warriors lost both matches, including a 5-set loss to Navarro. Well, the biggest schools in the area started practice this week and have been looking to have a better season this season for football. The Titans are coming off a disappointing season after losing by 1 point in the first round of playoffs. The Titans will have a new face at the helm and former Victoria High School graduate Charlie Reeve as head coach. He said their success will depend on how everyone will learn the new plays, along with how the younger athletes will adjust to playing on varsity. The Victoria West Warriors already know who their quarterback is for the upcoming year. That's Camden Repper. The dual-threat quarterback is hoping to take the West Warriors even deeper into the postseason. West made it 3 rounds deep before eventually losing in the highest-scoring game in its history with a final score of 74-59. Well, the focus on this Cowboys Daily is a running back who's listed at 5'5". Mickey Spagnola has more.
For today's Cowboys Daily, we talk about a little big man, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, talking about how well and impressive Deuce Vaughn has been.
Well, I think Deuce has had a really good camp. I mean, his work yesterday was off the charts. I mean, just the amount of work he had in special teams. So what I'm going to is the versatility. He's really shown excellent versatility from special teams to offense. I think we all smile when he does pass protect, because you talk about the instincts, awareness, and most importantly the footwork to get yourself in position. He has that.
And for our Twitter question, Rod Kraft asks, can Gallimore and Bohannon make this team? I'm thinking one of the two will make it, and judging from what McCarthy said about Gallimore today, sounds like he's in the lead.
Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gino. Now stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather with Mac. Plus, a car managed to crash into the 2nd story of a home in Pennsylvania.
A dorm on a Tennessee college campus and injured a soccer player. A tree slammed into the building and shattered at least 4 windows and damaged the roof. The school's soccer team was staying in the dorm during summer practice. Team members said when they heard loud banging and screaming, they jumped out of bed to find a teammate covered in blood. They say a tree fell on him. He was taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay. Check out what happened in Pennsylvania over the weekend. This gray Toyota Corolla somehow launched into the second story of a house Sunday and wedged itself in. It's not immediately known how this happened, but no one was hurt in the crash. Firefighters were able to get the car down. Then they made sure the house was safe to enter, then helped the owners cover the hole with a tarp. Oh my goodness, that's not good.
Yeah,
How does that even happen?
You got to be going pretty fast to hit a ramp and fly like that.
Fly. That's like a scene out of Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
But strange things can happen with strange weather, I guess.
Well, they were having rain up there. You know, it rains everywhere the Dome of Doom is not. Okay? So where it's not, and that's us, we're not getting any kind of rain, but it has been severe for many areas of the country. Folks, the triple digits will continue right on through the next 7 days. No real change for us. It's just going to be hot, so be cautious. Beginning on Sunday, with a little luck, we'll start seeing some of those little pop-up showers. You know, it's wishful thinking on my part, but hopefully it'll come true.
Well, let's shake that bad weather off, but let's not shake this off because Taylor Swift has captured the most nominations for this year's Video Music Awards. MTV revealed the nominations on Tuesday, and she has 8 of them, including for Video of the Year. Last year, she became the first artist to win 3 times in that category. Now, while she has the most nominations, R&B singer SZA is close behind with 6 nominations. The VMAs will air on September 12th.
You want to hear some amazing numbers?
Absolutely, always.
Fortune magazine says Taylor Swift's tour has meant $4.6 billion, with the B as in Brubaker, dollars to the U.S. economy. And they're averaging that every person who got a ticket, $1,300 they spent on tickets and tour, travel and
clothing.
To see a show.
It's Taylor Swift.
Okay.
What? You got
It's a big show.
It's a big show. It's not just any show.
Would you spend money like that to go to Las Vegas and do one of those big productions? No.
Maybe.
But it's
All
Taylor
right.
Swift.
Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Carolina Trey, 25 News Now Sunrise, 5 a.m. Good night.